Hello and welcome back. So now you can notice that every belief has a structure and that goes like this. A behavior or an event X causes a result or a learning Y, and that means Z, where Z is the belief. Let's do a quick recap of how generalizations, meanings and beliefs interconnect and play with each other. As you now know, generalizations are learnings that we draw from any event that happens around us. These learnings then take us further into asking, how does this learning impact me? Or how can I utilize this learning for my life? What does it mean to me? This leads to the formation of meanings, which is essentially an application of that learning to our individual context at that particular point of time in our life. So, learnings from events are the cause that produce an effect in our world, and that effect or interpretation of that potential effect is basically the meanings that we draw from those learnings. And when different events in our life produce a similar effect on us, we choose to draw a bigger meaning, or in other words, a bigger conclusion about that certain aspect of our life, which is called belief. So, beliefs are conclusions about our world that we have chosen to take based on common meanings that we make out of the learnings from events happening around us. Let me explain this with few examples. Let's look at this chart. We have generalizations, which are basically the learnings from events happening around us, which are essentially also a cause which leads to an effect, which is in the next column, which is meanings which we draw out of that learning to our context in life, and then accumulation of meanings over a period of time leads to the formation of beliefs. So when a person comes across this learning that boss always looks upset, he can choose to draw a meaning that I am not doing a good job. And over a period of time, if this continues, then the belief that I am a failure begins to get installed. Everyone here is selfish could lead to a contextual meaning, I will get hurt by their actions. And therefore, over a period of time, a belief that we should not trust anyone begins to get formed. People laugh at funny talks, and that means they will laugh at me. And over a period of time, the belief that I will get insulted when I talk begins to get formed. When I got good results, I had worked really hard. And that means it is the hard work that brought me success. And over a period of time, it leads to the belief that to be successful, you must work hard. Many people have left me. Now, that could have happened due to a variety of reasons. However, if you are someone who chose to draw a meaning that there is something wrong in me, and if this repeatedly happens, then over a period of time, you could install a belief that I am bad at relationships. My parents never talked to me. That means they didn't love me at all. And it leads to a belief that I am worthless. She always comes late. And that means she is not serious about this project. And that could lead to a belief that she is not a dependable person. Now, I want to bring to your attention that each of these statements are beliefs in themselves. And that is the reason why I would like to say that generalizations lead to meanings and beliefs, and then these beliefs can produce new generalizations, new meanings, and therefore new beliefs. So beliefs can lead to beliefs, and each of these statements are beliefs in themselves. Hope you got the general idea of how beliefs are formed. You can call them as working generalizations. They are those generalizations and meanings that help us deal with the world. Now, this is where we can start understanding how to break down a belief. So listen very carefully. Since we now know how beliefs are formed, we just have to reverse the process to break it down. We just need to ask two questions to reverse the logic that created the belief in the first place. These two questions are, how do you know and what makes it that way? Or what causes that to happen? The first question will take us back to how the person made the meanings that created the original belief. And the second question will take us further back to the original behavior that led to that conclusion. Let me give you some examples. When a person says, we should not trust people easily, you can ask, how do you know that we should not trust people easily? And let's say they answer, because they can hurt us by their actions. And then we can ask, what makes you feel that way? Or what causes people to hurt us? And they might answer, because people are selfish and they think of themselves first. And once you have these two answers, you can just connect them together and make one sentence and play it back to them. Ah, I see. So you mean to say that all people are necessarily selfish and they think of themselves, and because of that they will hurt us by their actions, and therefore it is not good for us to open up or trust people easily. Is that true? Even when you repeat this sentence in this way, a lot of people begin to realize the mistake in their meanings. But you can even go further and ask the next question. So does that mean that your mother, your sister, your brother are actually selfish and they hurt you? Does that mean that the teacher who taught you in your school was selfish and therefore thought of herself or himself and hurt you? And when you start giving these kind of counter examples which are connected to the meanings that they had made in their mind, the belief begins to get loose. And loosening beliefs is the first step towards breaking them. I must mention here that each person can draw a uniquely different learning from an event. Similarly, each of us can have a unique assessment of the impact of that learning to our life and in that particular stage of our life. So this leads me to three key conclusions. One, creation of beliefs is just a choice of learnings and meanings that we choose to take from events. Each person can draw a unique meaning of that situation in relevance to their context in life. Change the meaning and you can change the belief. Number two, beliefs can therefore be changed by giving new meanings to the same old situation. And number three, meanings are formed based on the current situation of our life, prevalent and applicable at that point of time in our life. A lot of times we continue to carry these beliefs forward even to date, knowing that that belief was valid at that point in time in our life and it is no longer valid now. But we forget to correct it.